Imagine a thriving forest where the rivers are clean and the trees are tall. Every animal, from the smallest bird to the largest deer, lived in a stable, peaceful rhythm. Then came Singdev. He was a massive lion who used his strength to terrorize the woods. He didn't just walk, he stomped, making sure every creature felt the ground shake under his heavy weight. Singdev didn't hunt to survive, he killed for sport. He would slaughter animals even when he wasn't hungry, simply to prove he could. In just a few months, his cruelty had turned a vibrant landscape into a graveyard, leaving the survivors hiding in silence. With their numbers dwindling, the remaining animals gathered for an emergency meeting. They were looking for any way to stop the daily bloodshed. They proposed a grim mathematical trade. By offering the lion one life every day, the rest of the group hoped to buy themselves 24 hours of safety. Singdev liked the deal. It meant his meals would be delivered directly to his cave, allowing him to be lazy while still maintaining his reign of terror. The plan worked for a while, until the lottery chose the smallest, most vulnerable member of the forest, a tiny rabbit. The animals were essentially trading lives for time, a compromise that was quickly running out for everyone. The rabbit began a slow, trembling walk toward the lion's den. He looked incredibly fragile against the dark, heavy woods, a small snack for a giant predator. He stopped at a riverbank and stared at his own tiny reflection, knowing he stood no chance in a physical fight. Looking at the water, the rabbit analyzed the lion's nature. Singdev's mind was built on two things: an obsessive need to protect his territory and a massive ego. He realized if he couldn't beat the lion's muscles, he could target those psychological triggers instead. He stopped worrying about his size and started looking for a way to let the lion's own temper do the hard work for him. To start, the rabbit deliberately slowed his pace. He made himself late on purpose, knowing that every passing minute would make the lion more irritable. By the time the rabbit reached the den, Singdev was pacing back and forth, his hunger turning into a volatile rage. The rabbit acted terrified and hyper-polite. He claimed that he had tried to arrive on time, but had been intercepted by another lion who was even bigger and meaner than Singdev. He told Singdev that this new stranger claimed to be the only true king of the forest. The word king worked like a trigger. Singdev's face instantly twisted into a snarl as his jealousy completely took over. The lion was no longer thinking about his lunch. He was obsessed with destroying the rival who dared to challenge his status. The rabbit led the furious lion through the brush, stopping at the edge of an old, deep stone well. The rabbit pointed into the darkness, claiming the rival was hiding inside. Singdev leaned over the edge and stared down into the water. The trap was set. Singdev saw his own angry reflection in the water and heard the stone walls echo his roar back at him, making the rival seem real. Blinded by his own reflection, Singdev plunged into the well to attack. He hit the water with a heavy splash, never coming back up. Singdev was defeated by his own inability to see past his ego, drowning because he couldn't recognize his own reflection. As soon as the lion was gone, the heavy silence broke. The forest immediately felt lighter, and the animals finally came out of hiding. The deer and the foxes, animals many times larger than the rabbit, lifted him onto their shoulders to celebrate the victory. For months, the forest had been paralyzed by a bully they thought was untouchable because of his size. But the rabbit proved that a sharp mind and a quiet strategy can be much more powerful than the biggest set of